All right, everybody. Yo, what's going on? And welcome back to the show. If you're new here, my name is Mitchell. In today's episode, I'll be talking about women want to be your cheerleader, not your coach. And I do these YouTube lives every Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you guys do find this video content of value, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. That being said, I'm going to go straight into the recap episode that I'll be talking about today, which is an episode that I've done before, and it is on being a leader is a decision, not a title. So if you want to go back, believe the date was March 16th. So you guys could kind of go all the way back or search it up. And the slide that I'll be talking on is when you are a leader. So with this quote by Mark Sanborn, leaders do not know the answers to the questions. They know the best questions. So this kind of gives you an idea of what a leader does. A leader listens very well. They know what to ask and what to listen to so that they could get the best results on how to lead properly, because they listen, they understand. And so what does it mean? It means that when you become a leader, which is a decision, you want to be able to communicate and not just speak all over people. You want to be the person that understands what's it like to listen. And so people need to know where you're going. So that's number one. When you're a leader, people need to know where you are going, because if you don't know where you're going and you're going around in circles, that is not leading. And so being able, what's up, Tracy? So being able to communicate, a great leader understands that the needs of others come first. The needs of others come first. People have to trust you. If you are a leader, people need to trust you. So you have to be honest. And if you're honest, you have to have strong morals. Okay, knowing what's right and wrong. So because people aren't stupid, and if they are, sometimes people are kind of naive to certain things. They're not going to be stupid for a very long period of time. So where you are going have to have, and you have to provide value, because why would anybody want to stay with you? What's up? Is it Tanya? What's up, Tanya? Now, one of the predictors of being a good leader is conscientiousness. Someone who is organized, someone that's hardworking, goal-oriented, which is part of your personality trait. What's up? What's up? Okay, so because with being conscientious is that people are good with keeping their words. And so you have to say what you mean and mean what you say. Being trustworthy is one of the great elements of being a great leader. Now, there are also harsh leaders and kind leaders. So there's a difference between the two. But as long as they say what they will say they will do, most people will listen. Okay. And so with another quote that I want to kind of almost end this with is another one by Mark Sanborn, which is: the problem in this world isn't that having a title doesn't make you a leader. It's that not having a title should never stop you from leading. So you don't need a permission to start leading. You just have to do it and focus on yourself and be able to understand that, hey, you know what? Everybody starts somewhere, and that's okay. Everyone nowadays is a world changer. You just have to understand that everyone's a world changer. The major question is, what kind of change are you making? What type of changes are you making? Everybody makes a difference, but at the end of the day, what kind of difference are you going to make to another person? Are you building other people up, or are you breaking them down? Is it Red Panda? What's up? What's up, Red Panda? I am doing a live episode of Women Want to Be Your Cheerleader, Not Your Coach. I'm a relationship coach. All right. Now, moving on. So there's nothing wrong with having a title, but sometimes I do think it is overrated. Now, to the meat of the topic, I will have 4 slides today. And our first slide of today is why masculine men lead. Masculine men, okay? And, I'm just using men as an example because most men are predominantly masculine energy. Most men, okay? Most men. It's not to say women don't have it. A woman can't be majority You know what I'm saying, okay? It's just that most men, okay? So, why masculine men lead? And I'm just using this as like a heterosexual relationship just to kind of make things a little bit more simple for most people. Now, when a woman says she wants a man who knows how to lead and can lead, it typically means that what she's really looking for from a person or from him is that, is he able to make decisions? Is he able to provide a direction? So being goal oriented. And is he able to take initiative in all areas of his life? Now, this includes in relationship, family, career, etc. Everything that you do, how can you lead? The desire of a leadership encompasses certain qualities too, like having confidence. The number one most attractive thing to a woman from a guy is his confidence. So how confident are you? And are you decisive? Do you have responsibilities? What kind of responsibilities do you have? Are you able to guide her? Are you able to support her? Now, what she does not want is someone that kind of leans over to her because he doesn't know exactly what he wants, and he looks to her into making a decision. And it could be something as simple as, well, what do you want to eat? So just not being able to pick a restaurant or knowing exactly where you want to go and how to date her that day, she's not going to want that. She wants a man that be like, hey, you know what? This is where we're going to go. Or at least keep it up, make it a surprise. Women love surprises and they love mystery. And so, are you able to provide that? Okay, a little bit of excitement for her. Now, girls just want to have fun. Girls just want to have fun. It's kind of like that song, right? So, they just want to be the one who enjoys her time with you. It is attractive to them because being decisive takes a lot of mental load off of her. She's like, well, I don't really have to think. All I have to do is show up, look pretty, have a good time. Now, because it shows that a man, because he's able to be decisive, he knows he has a strong sense of self and he has good instincts, and that's good for survival. If you think about it in like what was that, tribal era, like, you know, when people were in tribes, it shows that you have a strong sense of self and you have good instincts. Now, if we want to better understand why being a leader is so attractive, though, we have to understand what's the opposite of being decisive, which is indecisive. Which is, oops, give me 1 second. Okay, so being indecisive and hesitating slows you down. It just slows you down in all areas of your life. Depending on which area is weaker, it slows you down. And it shows the lack of confidence. Like I said before, the number one most attractive trait in a guy to a woman is his confidence. So if you show lack of confidence, she's not gonna really want to be around it. It's just like, well, you can't even make a decision on your own. Now, if you're supposed to be the provider and the protector, but you lack traits of decision making, well, it's going to decrease her survivability around you. But now, in modern analogy, it's the quality of life. It starts to decline a little bit. So, I want you guys to imagine a guy who makes quick decisions, who does not hesitate, and also knows what he wants and he goes for it. He's sure of himself. He makes woman that he wants to talk to feel certain that he wants to get to know her, wants to, you know, understand her and get to know her a little bit better, compared to a guy that's very hesitant and indecisive about his words and his action. You're not going to be able to trust a guy like that if you're not able to see some sort of competency. So, slide number 2 is you must have a direction. Let me get some water. You must have a direction. And it's, I think, Vince Lombardi that says, leaders are made, not born. So this also means that you have to decide. You have to decide to be a leader and take on the role of leadership. So the major questions are, where will you go? How would you get there? And are you confident enough to make mistakes along the way, knowing that you're going to fail, And even if you do fail, it's not going to derail you off of your purpose of the things that you want to do. After all, if you think about it, a happy, healthy, feminine woman wants to know she can relax around you. She wants to know she can relax around you, because then her natural ability to be more nurturing, to be a little bit more calm, where she's not always in like fight or flight mode. She could operate. We all operate our best when we're most relaxed. So if you could provide that type of safety to her, she's going to associate those feelings with being around you, and even when you're not around her. It also causes her to be a little uncertain. It's like, well, when will he be back? So it's part of feminine energy to want the guy's attention. Now, in today's society, you get a lot of these guys that's always chasing after this girl, and he's like bombarding her with text messages, and it's like, look, you're doing it all wrong. You don't understand. You've been watching one too many soap operas or movies that shows the guy's always chasing the girl, and it's very unattractive. He becomes clingy, needy. You get it, and it just gets worse. And then he finds himself scratching his head like, how come I never get the girl that I want? How come this does not happen? It's because you're acting more like the chick, and she's not attracted to that. So a happy, healthy, feminine woman wants to know she can relax around you. So you have to be able to provide her that type of safety, and where she doesn't feel like she's going to be trapped or locked down. And so a guy that could emotionally resist himself to hold back that text message because he's focused on his mission and his purpose, that is very attractive to a woman. Now, a man who lacks direction becomes more of a liability, not only because he doesn't really have much going on for himself. He always wants her time. He might be needy. He might be clingy. Might be even have traits of jealousy and anger issues because he doesn't get what he wants. That is very unattractive. So now he's unsure of himself, of where he's going, or if he's able to maintain that state of safety and security and certainty for her. Is it Jessica? What's up, Jessica? So also, men who cannot control his emotions and his desires acts like a child most of the time because he doesn't get what he wants. Think about that. He doesn't get what he wants. He gets upset. And now he becomes more of a liability to her because she's like, well, not only did he stop leading, he just gets emotionally, like he can't regulate his emotions. And he acts like a freaking child. Like, she does not want to be your mommy. She wants to know that that's another thing too. A lot of guys always use their ladies as his therapist, or his mommy. It's like, that's very unattractive. That doesn't show any type of leadership. That doesn't show any type of confidence or any type of competency. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. And so now, on top of that, now you're just having this whole liability on yourself because she's like, damn, I already got my life to take care of. Now I got to take care of this guy. It's like, come on, man. It's like, well, imagine a man who cannot control his desires now. Not only can he not control his emotions because he's kind of flustered, and he can't control his desires, and you're in a monogamous relationship. Think about what that's going to do. How safe would she feel around you if you can't even control your desires around another woman? You can't even control that, right? How safe would you feel? Just be honest. You wouldn't feel very safe. You wouldn't want to be around a guy like that. You want to be around a guy that is certain. He knows what he wants. He goes after it. He's unapologetic, and he just goes for it, despite what other people say. That's a type of leader that knows how to lead. So you must become the guy. If you're watching this and you're a male and you're this guy and you're trying to get to a promised land with this girl, okay? You must become that guy that knows what he wants and goes after what he wants. She wants to be your cheerleader. A woman wants to be your cheerleader. And now, if you're unable to do that, you're unable to open her up, she will either feel unsafe around you, or she's gonna try to just keep quiet and settle. But both of you guys are gonna be miserable. And eventually she's going to find a way out and leave you anyways. So the only thing that you can do is become a competent guy. The only thing you can do is be a guy that knows and he's sure of himself, that goes after what he wants. Now, you might be young, or you might be a little bit older and you don't know exactly what you want to do. That's fine. Everybody starts somewhere, right? That's okay. But what you cannot do is you can't do nothing. So you just got to be able to put yourself out there and do things. And you want to be able, as a guy, to find something that you love, to find something that you truly feel like, damn, this is what I'm going to be put on this earth to do. And I'm just going to become better and better at it, because every time I think about it, it lights me up inside and it just makes me excited. So you're interested. And in order to be interesting, you have to be interested in your own things. I've said this many times. It's very difficult to get somebody to be excited about your life if you're not even excited about it yourself. So light yourself up inside. That way, because you can't give what you don't have. So you want to be that person that have a sense of self, that knows what he wants, goes after what he wants. And so that you could provide this ability to even like, damn, like I could talk about this all day with you. Oh my God. And then you just have this chemistry. So you want to be able to light her up as well. And you want to be able to light her up most of the time. So this just means that as a guy, you have to be solution oriented. And I want to preface something too. Even though you want to be solution oriented, it doesn't mean that you solve everybody's problems. What you want to be is a guy that knows how to solve your own problems, because men and women communicate differently. Men, how we like to solve things is like, what's wrong? Okay, there's a needle, there's a nail in your shoulder. Okay, let's pull it out. It will stop hurting. Woman, on the other hand, y'all laughing because you know you have that piece, that nail on your shoulder. It's hurting. It's inside. He's like, look, let's just pull that out. You will be a lot better. You're like, no, I want to talk about it first. I want to talk about it. So then that's your solution. Your solution to quote unquote solve her problem is let her talk, and then she will figure it out herself, and then she will feel a lot better. And I get it, because us as guys, we're masculine energy. We just like to solve things. We're fixated on fixing things because that's what we like. We want efficiency. Women, they want to talk about it, and let them talk about it. And as long as they can feel better about themselves being around you, she's gonna associate those feelings about being with you. And so if you could provide that type of safety for her, where you could be her sounding board, she's never gonna want to leave you. She would never want to leave a guy that is competent, confident, goes after what he wants, treats her well, and listens. Jeez, you don't get a lot of that nowadays. So you have to know what you want. You have to go for it. You have to be solution oriented. And you have to be willing to take risk. Being risky of being rejected. I'm not talking about being naive and like gambling and all that, okay? There has to be some sort of reward with that type of risk that you're taking. Now, let's talk about the evolution, okay? The evolution. And I'd like to start out with another quote by Tony Robbins, which says, most people, when they are tired or under stress, they put on the mask of the opposite energy. So when men are under stress, guess what we do? We like to talk. We like to, and especially during those pressure or high tension moments, men who cannot regulate their emotions, they will start yelling, screaming. And the part of the true essence of masculine energy is being cool, calm, and collected. So when you are not cool, calm, and collected, what are you? You're being erratic. You're being this person that doesn't know how to control his emotions. And so that she's gonna feel a little unsafe around you because you don't even know how to manage your emotions, because you want to be able to provide her that certainty that, look, when shit really does hit the fan, I'm still going to be able to maintain my composure. That is how you could provide another sense of safety. Now, does it mean that you could never be upset and that you can't? it's not that, but you want to be able to control yourself most of the time. You don't want to be that, what my coach says, that jack in the box kind of guy. You don't want to be a guy that feels like it's where she feels like she's walking on eggshells being around you. That is not a solid ground, and you are not a solid guy if she feels that way. And you have to also understand that if she feels that way towards you, there's no reason why you do not validate those type of feelings, because that's how she feels around you. And everybody's feelings are subjective, and they are how they feel. And it's not your job to change that opinion. What you can do is start taking actions and provide that type of safety for her and be that grounded type of guy so that she could feel safe around you. But if she already made up her mind and she's like, look, I don't want to be around this guy because he's emotionally unstable, well, that's her opinion, but you still got to work on yourself regardless of what she thinks of you or not. You still have to do it. So that's what a guy, okay? Now, for a woman that she's tired or under stress, she puts on this very protective energy, this protective coat of energy, where she puts on this masculine, like, back away from me, leave me alone, kind of, very protective type of energy. So more masculine. Now, the essence of masculine energy, as I said before, was being cool, you being calm, and you being collected. And you know what you want, being decisive. If you're constantly this guy, what's up, Crystal? Now, if you're constantly this guy and you're also in this very unstable state, maybe you're under stress because you don't know if you're going to have a job in the next few weeks, or maybe you're upset because you don't know what to do or how to manage what is going on in your personal life with your girlfriend or your wife. You don't even know if she wants to be around you. Maybe she's not giving you enough attention. She's not giving you what you want, at night, if you know what I mean. And you're just upset. And usually when people are upset, is usually because they don't have a solution, or it takes too long and they lack patience. So now, it's okay to be under stress. And I think people being under stress, it's important because it provides this ability to build this type of muscle so that you could work better under stress. People don't usually work towards that. And so what they do is they just complain about it, and you complain and complain. And we all know at least one person that all they do is complain. Because most people major in minor things. They would do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. So the pain of actually working towards that to solve that problem than to gain the pleasure of being out of that situation, they would rather just complain about it. And so when they keep complaining and bitch and they moan, and if you a guy and you act like a chick and you act like a bitch, guess how she's gonna treat you? Exactly like who you are, like that bitch. So you have literally X amount of time. And when I say X amount of time to figure this out, you have about somewhere between 6 to 12 months. And this is what my coach has been teaching. You have about 6 to 12 months, Coach Corey Wayne. About 6 to 12 months on figuring your shit out. You have to find a solution. Because if you think about it, it doesn't matter if you guys been together for 3 months, 3 years, or even 30 years. If you don't find a solution for yourself and you can't get yourself out of that situation, she's not going to stay there very long. And her and the world will unapologetically leave your ass. And then you could sit there and complain like, damn, we've been together for about 30 years and she's not even like, damn, this is how she treats me. Well, it's because you stop acting like a man and you stop leading. You stop leading your life. You stop having this purpose. You don't have any fucking sense of direction. Like how the hell you expect her to want to be a part of your journey if you don't even know where you're going? And so you got nobody else to blame but to blame yourself. And you could complain and be like, well, I don't know what I want to be. Well, figure it out. You have to figure it out. You have to do something. You can't do nothing. And if you're working towards something, that is something that she would admire. You're like, damn, that's potential right there. Versus someone that seems like they have it all, but they lack purpose and a mission. It's like they might have all the money in the world, but they lack a sense of direction and they act like a bitch. She's gonna eventually leave him Okay. And so, like I said, the world will unapologetically leave your ass. And if you stay in those current conditions for too long, meaning you're stuck and you're unwilling to find a way out, like I said, she's going to find a way out and leave you. Because, like I said, you become more of this liability. Now, let's speak about it in more evolutionary perspective, okay? Now, if you think about it like this, men who move towards danger. Think about it in tribes. They're protecting. They also need to hunt. They got to gather some food so that they could bring it back so that she could eat, take care of the kids, things like that. Men who move towards direction, which aka taking chances, who takes the lead, risking it to save his loved ones, are usually more rewarded. And so that's what you could put in quotations what an alpha male would do. Okay. Now, to put it in perspective, of men who are, say, for example, actors, men who are usually on stage, firefighters, police, people that takes the lead, they're willing to take the risk of embarrassment. They're willing to take a risk of failure, the unknown, and the risk of risking their lives. Usually are more of these type of men that are way more desired to a woman than anybody else. But then, like I said, more people will do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. So most people just complain about it. And they feel like, oh shit, I talked about it, so I feel a lot better. You're no different than a chick if you don't figure it out. So you have to be solution oriented. You have to find a way. You could talk about it. I have issues too. I have problems that come up and I'm like, damn, it's going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of patience. And I don't really have a lot of that right now, but I have no choice. So now I got to be emotionally regulated. I'd be like, damn. But in the meantime, what I can do, and I focus on what I can do. So I'll start focusing on the things that I could manage. And it's like, well, look, it's going to take time regardless. What's up, Bree? It's going to take time regardless. What I have to do is still not lose focus on my mission and a purpose. And still making sure that, hey, you know what? It's going to take time. It might take a year. It might take 5 years. Whatever it is, you still have to be patient about it. And so these are more of the men that's going to be more desired. Now, but these are men who feels comfortable going into uncomfortable situations. So going for what you want. So if you see that girl that you want, talk to her, risk the embarrassment, risk the failure, risk being rejected. Those are the people that's going to be rewarded. That's why you hear a lot of people say like, hey, look, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. And yeah, it is to some point, because you're not going to have success all the time. Not everyone's going to want you. Maybe some people you talk to might be in a relationship. Maybe they're married. You back away. You be like, hey, I shot my shot. At least now I know. And these are men, like I said, that's more desired. He shows confidence. He shows initiative. He's sure of himself, and he goes after what he wants. That is how you be that leader, that at least that sense of leadership. Now, it's not as much as, now this is just the approach game. You have to understand how the whole relationship, long-term relationship game works too, because if you don't date and court your woman, eventually another man will. So when that does happen, and maybe your game is tight in the beginning, but you lack any type of courtship and dating her, you don't understand what it takes to make her feel heard, make her feel understood. Like, these are all areas of your life that you have to be competent in, and that's something that you have to work towards. Otherwise, you might get a lot of attainable success, but you're not gonna have any type of stability, something that's sustainable. So now, men go after what he wants. He puts himself in a position where he gets comfortable in uncomfortable situations where most people will feel most uncomfortable. And lastly, she wants to support you. Women want to support. Ladies in here, every woman in here, every lady in here, y'all want a guy that you could support. Am I right? You want a guy that you could support. You're like, damn, I love my man and I would love to support him. Or if he's not, if he's not in your life now, you would love to have a person that you could love and support. Am I right? Leave a comment down below. But woman in her feminine energy wants a man she can support. She wants to support you, where she could show up and be your biggest cheerleader. She wants to be your biggest cheerleader. Okay, pom-poms and everything. All right, short skirts. But she won't give it to a guy. She will not give it to a guy who does not possess these type of masculine traits or masculine qualities. Like I said, you have to have a sense of direction. You have to know what you want, why you want it, and how you're gonna get there. That's leadership. And she won't just give it to anybody. So there's an epidemic. There's an epidemic of so many women that just always complains about, like, it doesn't matter, like beauty, whatever. They all have issues. Well, not all, but majority of them have this issue with men that does not know how to lead. Or he's like, he doesn't really know he doesn't know how to lead because he doesn't exactly know what he wants to do. Or at least cannot be upfront about it. At least be upfront about it. So she will not give that guy the chance that does not possess these type of qualities. So you have to be a man that's like a rock in her ocean, okay? He's solid, he's grounded. He can handle it and he could go for it. Now, this is the type of guy that she wants to be around. So think about it in a sense like this. And I love this example because my coach used it so many times before. And it's kind of like being that great example. And it's a compliment. It's a compliment when you know how to guide. And when a woman says, you will be a great father, that is a compliment. Because it means that you will be a great leader in that person's life. That's a good compliment. Okay, good compliment. That's a I can't even find a word for it. All right. It's a huge compliment because you're able to lead. Now, the example that my coach gave was, imagine you're this dad, okay? And you have a little daughter. She's young. She was getting picked on at school. Maybe they made fun of her hair or something. And she's crying and she comes to you as this masculine source of energy. And you're just calm, you're grounded, you're not upset by it. You're like, what's wrong, baby? What's wrong, honey? Or whatever. And she sits on your lap and she's crying and you're like, it's okay. You know, he's picking on you. We have to figure it out. We have to find a way to figure this out. But usually, and he finds a solution for her and he listens to her. And after he listens to her, he's like, usually when little boys pick on you like this and, you know, they're so young, they don't know how to express this type of feeling that they have. And usually it's because most of the time they have a crush on you and they just don't know how to express it. And so by making fun of you and picking on you, it's a sense of attention that he could give to you, but they're just doing it all wrong. They're young. They don't know what they're doing. But baby, it's okay. Daddy loves you. And she feels a lot better after you're holding her. You're this rock in her ocean. You're solid, right? You're grounded and you can handle things and you go for what you want and you go for it. And this is the type of guy where anybody, any type of feminine energy will feel safe and comfortable around you. And so if you're able to provide that type of safety, she's only gonna want you more. Now, this is how you could become a leader in your own life and lead other people. Because to her, this is a sense of safety and security. And so if you're able to provide that for her, she's not going to want to leave, okay? But this is just one area. You also need to be competent in all areas of your life. Now, do you have to be the best at it? Like, I mean, it will be very helpful if you're the best at a certain thing. But if you just want to be able to sustain this, you just got to be competent enough. You don't have to be the best. It's just like you don't have to go to the gym and be six-packed out and super low body fat and just super fit. Like, you don't have to go to that type of extreme, but you got to be healthy. You can't look like shit. And so now The major thing is if you're physically unfit, if you are physically unfit, you want to take care of that and go to the gym. If you're financially unstable, you got to take care of that and go read some books and how to provide more to the marketplace. People don't pay you for your time. They pay you for what you could solve. And the bigger problems that you could solve, the more money you could get, which gives you more financial stability. And so you got to find that balance. So instead of complaining and trying to work harder, just be smarter and ask for more. Because if you think about it, most people that works in the how is it that one person can work in one place, make twice as much as the next person, or make 3 times as much? How is that? Yes, it's time, but it's also what they could solve. It's what kind of problems you could solve. So be a person that's competent in one area and master that so that you could solve problems for other people. Okay, so like I said, if you're physically unfit, go to the gym. Financially unstable, go read some books. And if you're emotionally unstable, well, guess what? You got some work to do. You got to go see a therapist or something. You got to start understanding, follow your trail of whys and start asking yourself like, look, why am I acting like this? Whenever I don't get what I want, why do I fucking get pissed off? Or why do I get flustered so easily? Why am I so emotionally unstable? Like, there's a reason behind all of that. And so if you could find those whys, you could almost solve any type of, like, how can I do this? The bigger your why, the easier the how. And so take care of those areas of your life. A key thing about this is you want to be able to do this for yourself, because you're only doing this for yourself. What's up, Regina? You only want to be able to do this for yourself and not her or a woman. Like, let's just say something that you're lacking. You're like, damn, I wish I could have a girlfriend. Then I would be happy. It's like, no, absolutely not. You have to be willing to take care of yourself first. You have to be able to love yourself first, to take yourself out, to enjoy your own company. That way other people will enjoy your company. If you don't even enjoy being around yourself, you're not going to be very good company for other people. And so, you know, you might be the smartest person, but you hate your life. You're miserable. You don't feel fulfilled. You're financially stable, but you're emotionally a wreck. She's not going to want to be around you. So all this area of your life, you have to take care of yourself. And so that's why, you know, you see a lot of stories, you see a lot of videos of these people that's being physically fit, and they always talk about money, but maybe they got those 2 things, but they're emotionally unstable. They don't even know how to manage their own emotions, and they scare her off because you're not providing that sense of safety emotionally for her. And women fall in love with their ears. And so if you could understand that, and you can understand her, and you're patient, and you go after what you want because you're not focused on her all the time. But when she comes to you, it's kind of like that little girl example I was giving you. Like, when she comes to you, she's coming for you for certainty. And if you could provide her her uncertainty, and you provide her with certainty, she's gonna feel very safe around you by listening to make sure she feels heard and understood. And then you date her, she associates having fun with you. Guess what's so many doors gonna open, if you know what I mean. So many doors. All right. So you have to do it for yourself. You have to be able to do this for yourself. That way you will always have this will to and a drive to go for what you want. That is how you become a successful man, a successful masculine man. Sorry. So if the decision that you're making is only for her, it will never be something that's sustainable. So like I said, it has to be for you. You have to take care of yourself for you. Now, once you have this ability to know what you want, to go after what you want, and to continue doing it, that is how you're going to make an impact. That is how you become extraordinary, because you're so fixated and you're also obsessed with what you want to do. You become great at it. You become so good that people cannot take their eyes off of you. And so the reason why she doesn't want to be your coach is that you're supposed to be the one that's leading her. And a coach doesn't always just tells people what to do. A coach listens very well. And she just wants to be there to cheer you on. That being said, that is today's episode. I'm going to be going over some of the summary, the slides I've talked about. So if you guys have any questions right now, leave any comment below and I'll read it. Otherwise, this is the summary. All right. So slide number 1, why masculine men lead. So when a woman says she wants a man who can lead, it typically means that she is looking for someone or a partner, the man, who makes decisions. He takes initiative and provide a sense of direction in all areas of his life. Because being indecisive and hesitating slows you down in other areas of your life. This shows a lack of confidence usually. You don't know what you want, so you don't go after it. And if you're supposed to be the provider and protector, but you lack traits of decision making, which decreases her chance of survival. In modern analogy, is her quality of life just kind of goes down. She does not feel safe around you. Slide number 2 is you must have a direction. Where will you go? How will you get there? Are you confident enough to know that, look, eventually I'm going to make mistakes. And with those mistakes along the way, it's not going to derail me off of my purpose. After all, a happy, healthy, feminine woman wants to know that she can relax around you. She wants to feel safe and comfortable. Now, evolution. Slide number 3. Evolution. The world and her will unapologetically leave you if you stay in certain conditions for too long, meaning you're unable to take yourself out of that rut, of that little hole that you're in. And eventually she's going to leave your ass. Eventually. Or maybe she's going to settle because she feels stuck. She's like, damn, I've been with this guy for so long. I don't want to, she has a conscience too. So she's just not going to want to leave you. But eventually it's like, look, you need a job. Look, you need to pick yourself up. You need to do something. You can't do nothing. Do something. I don't care. You might not have a job right now. Well, guess what? I don't care. Go work at McDonald's, okay? Go work at a grocery store. Do something. Do something while still coming back and focusing on your mission and your purpose. That's what you have to do. She wants to support you. Last slide, she wants to support you. If you're physically unfit, like I said, go to the gym. Financially unstable, go read some books. Go educate yourself and start applying it. So all knowledge that you have right now that I'm giving you guys, these are potential knowledge, potentials, because you still have to apply it at the end of the day. So me talking about being more emotionally stable, well, or if you're emotionally unstable, well, guess what? Maybe you don't really like listening to yourself. Maybe you need a little bit more feedback. Go see a therapist, go figure it out, and then start regulating that. Start understanding like, well, how can I provide more to the marketplace so that people could pay me more? And lastly, you got to, like, there's no one pill that you could take to be physically fit. Like, it takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of compromises. Look, those late nights out that you want to go out and have fun with your friends and you want to drink like you're in your early 20s, maybe in your early 20s, right? And you continue to do that too long, well, guess what? It's gonna mess you up. So trust me, I like to have fun too, but I don't want to be out there drinking all the time, because not only does drinking, is it bad for your body, it knocks me out a few days. And that's a lot of days that I could easily be committed to doing something better and improving myself. So now, to say that I would never drink, absolutely not. I still have fun with my friends, but it's just having that that healthy balance of, I'm putting myself first so that I could become this leader. Because people that focuses too much on just having fun or this temporary type of enjoyment, they lose sight of what is really important, which is themselves. And once you start losing yourself, it just spirals down. And until you can bounce yourself back up, that is how you become a leader again. And that is the end of today's show of Women Want to Be Your Cheerleader. She does not want to be your coach, or women want to be your cheerleader, not your coach. And so if you guys do find this video content of value, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Everything else is in the description down below, and I will catch you guys on the next live. All right, take it easy, and all right, peace.